Hi guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Depending on where you are watching me from, welcome back again to my Facebook page. Presenter we know the presentable to my YouTube channel, the Real Girl, and to my page on my other page on Facebook, Single Mother, Single Father in Europe. So I'm on my three page right now, and we are going to talk about this question that a lady asked on Facebook. A lady with a Facebook page by Classy Beauty J Ward. Okay, she asked this question, and I think most African women, this question is not like a surprise to many of us. Many of us already know something or understand or been through something like this. And this lady threw out this question, and it was like, wow, because I have been thinking about something like this for long, and I have been through something like this. And I normally think like um, most of these African men, do they actually participate in homework and family building together when it comes to women? Why are many African women looking so stressed, looking so tired all the time? When you see them in the street, when you see them walking and all this stuff with bunch of children, most of the time you always see them alone and no help from the husband. Many of them practically look like they had this baby all alone, no support from anybody. And I begin to wonder so many times that like what is actually happening, that most of these women are always with the children and you find the men nowhere. So she asked this question, and first of all, let's listen to the question, then we'll talk. Okay.
My people, e get one question wey I wan ask. Dis question don dey bother me for my mind since. I say today na today I must ask dis question. Abeg, make una give me answer. Why e be say if you leave children for house for your husband, before you come from outside, maybe you go do you go appointment or you go work. If you come, your husband go start to dey complain say, wow tey o, if you see wetin you don do for house since, na so dis children dey disturb, na so dis, na so dat. But wait o, what about you as a woman, as a mother wey come dey do dis thing everything? Even sometimes the man.
So make a quick answer that one. Say she said that most of the women will leave their kids at home with their husband, and to go and do shopping or run errand or do something, that when they comes back the husband will be like complaining that the children are stressful and all those stuff. And then what about the women that normally stay with the children all day and all? So when we talk about we as Black people, when we talk about we as African women, we have a lot of responsibility as women. We have a lot of responsibility as human beings. All the responsibility of the community have been heaped on our shoulder for years and decades. And many of us don't even know how heavy this responsibility is. And we took this responsibility unknowingly and knowingly. Some women think that when it comes to raising children, is the full responsibility of the woman, that the man don't have to do nothing. And most of the time the men don't even do what they're supposed to be doing, like bringing money and working or supporting or whatever. They don't even try to make your life easy. Most of the women have to go bring the money, they have to take care of the children, they have to teach the children almost practically everything they are going to learn. um and it's a very big stress to the African women. And talking about a culture or a people whereby women struggling is like something that is normal, is normalized and co-signed all the time. Like we have a lot of parable that will say, "Oho, wa is woman that is a house." Is your most of the time they say your children. Now your children, the responsibility has been shifted for long to the African women. You see a woman with 6 children, dirty, stressed, and everything. She have a husband that is even like another baby to make it 7. So there is a lot of responsibility in the shoulder of most African women. Most African women have already taken over the family responsibility. So when somebody take a full responsibility of something, the other first partner is going to remove, like they are going to remove themselves from that scenario. So the moment you try to bring them in to do something for you, it will become like they are grumbly. It will become like they don't know how to do it, or they know how to do it because you have been doing it for long. They don't want to do anything. They believe that it is your responsibility. And when they look at your neighbor down the other houses or down the street, many of them are with 5 children, with 6 children, with 7, with 8 children, and they are still working and providing and everything. So there is no way you can complain. And when you still look at your mother-in-law, most of the mother-in-law, they are not supportive. They don't raise their children, their boys properly. They make sure they criticized you at times. If their sons want to even help you or make life easier for you, most of these men attack like um and they are charmed. You make voodoo on them. So the when it comes to child raising and responsibility in our community, all these things is hip on women. Is completely like the responsibility of the women. The men have just little or no responsibility. And when it still come to them providing, most of them don't even meet up in their own area. So the responsibility of children is being heaped on the African woman's and shoulder. Even the society have shift the responsibility to the woman, that the woman have to educate the children, the woman have to do everything. That is why you see it is more easier for most of them to manufacture single mothers, um, do all this stuff, and they go scot-free. That is why it's easier for you to see most of these men getting women pregnant and moving to the next one. That is why you see it is easier for most African women knowingly getting pregnant for men that they know that we never and claim them, men that they know will never and take responsibility of the child, because growing up, most of them have seen their mother taking this full responsibility. Most of them have seen their family taking this full responsibility. So it's something that is like it's normalized right now among all these women. So that is why you see most of these men see it like, oh, go come and carry us, come and carry your pikin, come and carry your pikin. You see those things, come and take your child. It's not our child, is your child. Go carry your pikin. It's like when the child is doing well, is their own child. When the child does not behave well, is the woman's child. When it comes to raising children, it is most of the African women that have snatched that opportunity from the other partner and make the children responsibility something that is exclusive to them. Many women believe that it is their right to raise the children alone. That is why you see many of the children in the black community are fatherless, because no obligation, no accountability for these men to be responsible for their children. That is why you see when they move to another woman, nobody is still holding them accountable, like go raise your children, take responsibility of your children. Nobody is actually really want to ask question or make them take responsibility of their children. Even in that same Africa, you will see your mother-in-law can easily and get annoyed with you because your husband is always with the children. Yeah, we experienced it. We experienced it then when we were growing up. Like you see, my mom working and having a nanny at home to help us and everything. It was like a family meeting on my mom that she has to be doing that. Or my father cook for us is problem is something like it's problematic. And you see many women branding men as woman rapper just because they're cooking or they're doing all this stuff. So the men see all these things as a job that is exclusive for women. So they don't want to participate in the raising of their children. They don't want to cook. They don't want to do home chores. Even the mothers will say, cooking is for women and cleaning is for women. But a man is going to stay in a clean house. A man is going to eat food, but he wants everything exclusive for women. So most of all this error is from the women because most of the women raised all these men. We raised all these men. We as women are supposed to put standard in the community and the men will follow. But most of us are not doing that. We are even contributing in a negative way when it comes to the raising of the children. Most women cannot even um, leave their children for their husband to take care of them. Even if the man is have capacity to take care of them, they will not. They believe that, oh, this man he can't take care of them. Yes, many men can take care of their children, but most women will not allow them. I've seen a case, I've seen a situation whereby I just had a baby like 2 days, and my girlfriend came to my house for a visit, and the next thing we were just in the front room and drinking and talking. Then my ex-husband get up and went to the kitchen to cook. And the next thing, she didn't say anything the first time. The second time he came back and we were just still gisting, and he went to the kitchen too to check the food. So when he came back, the lady was like, "Are you a woman? Why are you in the kitchen? What are you doing in the kitchen?" Knowingly that I just had a baby, I just put to bed 2 days or 3 days now. So I was like, I kept that thing in my mind, like these women are the problem. And this is the same woman that is complaining that the husband don't help her to cook, the husband don't help her with the children. She's practically stressed out. She has to go looking for the money. She has to go do different stuff to get money to take care of her child. And she seeing a man trying to help, it becomes a problem. So most of the problem we're talking about when it comes to these men don't help is the women. Most of the women are the problem. They raise these men in the first place because most of the men don't even have the luck to raise their children. Most of them abandon the children when their mom will be pregnant. Most of them abandon the children because they don't want to take responsibility, because they haven't being in a position to be responsible for in their life. So they always try to run away from responsibility because nobody asked them to do this, to do that, to make them responsible right from the home. You can not just wake up one day and you want to obligate the adults to do something that they have never been doing before. Like a child is a male that grew up with a mom, and the mom is struggling, the mom is cooking, the mom is looking for money, everything. He is going to see it as a normal behavior, like he is going to want a woman that can easily look for the money, bet the children, do everything. And if he find one that cannot do all those stuff, he is going to look at it like, this is different from my mom. That is why you see most African men, they want a woman that look like their mom, because those struggle make them remember that. And that is the only part that they have seen all their life. The woman that make the money, the woman that begs the children, the woman that do practically everything. So they believe that the male aspect of it is out. So When you marry such a man, he is going to complain about all this stuff. The moment you want to ask him to look at the children, when he practically grow up with his mom, when you want to go to the toilet, he is with you, with the mom. When he want to go everywhere, when the mom wants to go shopping, he is with the mom practically 24 hours of the day. So everything looks so weak and strange to him when you ask for obligation from him. So it's difficult. Let's listen now.
man go fit come from outside, he go dey ask you say wetin you dey do for house sis, but if you leave children for the man make him take care of, if you come as a woman he go dey complain say the work wey him don do since e too much pass am. And another thing.
She said that when you leave the children for the man at home, no, when the man leave the children for you are at home with the children. Most of the time, when this man came home, they will be asking you, "What have you done since morning? You are just at home. You are not doing anything." I understand most of these men that normally complain whenever they see a woman sitting down or resting or something. Most of these men are men that are used to struggle. They have used to seeing their mom 24 hours doing something. So the moment they see you are sitting down, you are not doing anything, it becomes a problem. Like, what have you done since morning? You haven't done anything, you haven't done that. They want you to practically do everything at a time. And when you can't do that, it means you are not traditional, you are not like my mother and all those stuff.
Wey I wan come still talk again be say e be like say this our Europe husband some, e be like say some of our Europe husband e be like say dem dey lazy. Abeg make una lis ten to dis thing wey me wan talk so. Why e be say if something spoil for house for dis our Europe, if something spoil for house, I still talk am just now say some some men no be all. Why e be say if
Almost
something spoil
80%
for
of
house,
90.
some Europe husband dem no dey wan repair the thing, and dem no repair am. Okay fine, maybe dem no know how to repair am, but dem no go still make move make dem call who dey repair the thing. Dem go leave am for there until the thing go rust.
This is one thing she said. She said most of the time when you have things malfunctioning at home, maybe you have something broken, cupboard, windows, and all this stuff. For example, break or tap or water, something break down. That most of these men cannot fix it. So I understand why many of them cannot fix all these things because you see, many of these women raise these boys. Many of these women raised these boys. And we as women, we don't have a toolbox. But me as a woman, I have a toolbox. When I was living in Europe, I have like two big toolbox that I used to arrange things. Even most of the time, the guy that normally work with me will say, "Hey, I called him to come and fix something." Most of the time, before he came down, I've already fixed it, and most of the time, he normally get pissed off. So most of these men, they wasn't brought up by a man. When you talk about a man raising their boys, you see them being handy. They're handy, they're doing things, they want to do, maybe the car break down, their father might be fixing the car and they look at their father doing all those stuff. When things break down in the kitchen, they see their dad doing all those things and things like that. They say, but in most of the cases, is their mother that is facing all these things and all. So when they are living with you as a wife or as your baby daddy or whoever they are going to allow you to do everything because they were never taught to do anything. And most of us women, we raise most of these boys as if we're raising the girls. We raise them like we are raising the women. We don't want them to do anything. We don't want them to clean. We don't want them to do nothing. Many of them we just might just sit down all day with their consoler and all this stuff. They're doing nothing, and the next thing, adios, everybody left. And they grow up to be like that, to see their mommy have to climb ladder to fix things, to do this, and they are not handy. That is why it's good that when these boys are growing up, it's good that most of their fathers should participate in their life, and most of them should go to all these technical schools where they can learn and a lot of carpentry, electrician, all this stuff that makes a man to be handy. Buy them a toolbox. My son normally repair bicycle for me. Whenever my bicycle is having fault and all those stuff, he normally do it for me. He normally take them to pump all those things. I normally send them on errand that is more difficult to do. Okay, so most of these women, I recommend you try to make them do all these things, and men try to do things that your children can emulate, so that they can be handy, they can be strong, and be able to solve issues at home with you. When you want to feel something, call them, let them come and see how you do it. And most of these men, many of them, the grown one that we are talking about, most of them don't even learn a handwork. Many of them don't learn handwork. Many of them don't have that handy, they are not handy man that normally do things. Many of them are lazy. They don't want to do anything because all their life they see their mommy doing everything. When something spoil, instead of them to fix it or try fix it, if they cannot, they can then call somebody to fix it. They will say no. And most of the time, many of them are not the one that are even paying for those things that is going to be repaired in the house. So there is that lack of authority, lack of leadership from most of these men in the house. That is why they don't do anything, and they don't impart anything on their children.
If you call them make dem come do am, dem go tell you say, just for example, then if you tell dem say shower spoil, shower no dey flush well, dem go tell you say dem no be plumber. If you tell dem say glove no dey work again, e don off, e go tell you say e no be electrician.
That is true. This woman never lied. I remember one day I have to go, um the light, the fluorescent in the kitchen was like off. I had to spend 2 days. I was with a man at home, spend 2 days, no light in the kitchen. On the third day, I have to go get the light and take a chair. I was facing the light, and the man was there. Like, I was seriously like looking at them like, I think this man was supposed to face something like this. Then why do you have a man if he can't do all this stuff for you, like facing the light, doing some handy work at home? I was just asking myself, like, why? And this is things that I normally see most of the time. You see most of these women calling all these guys, come and help me to fix the cutting, come and help me to fix the light. And you see their husband is sitting down at home like, guy, what is your use at home? If you can fix the cutting, you can and this block the drainage, you can do some certain thing. Why are you at home if you can do all this stuff? I don't care if it's all or if it's not all. I'm talking about 90%. I'm talking about 90%. I am not going to enter into the debate of all or not all, because that is what many of you normally use to cut the conversation, like not all. I don't really care if it's all, if it's not all. I don't want to go into that manipulation. I'm talking about what I see, what I observe, and what I've been through, and what I've seen among so many people in this Europe or in Africa, that most of the women have to take the role of the men and take the role of the women, which is very, very crazy, and it's surprising. Like, why do a woman have to do all these things and she have a man at home? And what is the use of the man? And you see many women becoming single mother, and many of you are complaining they want to be a single mother. Why do a woman need this man at home? He can't do nothing, just to fuck and pregnant her and have a baby that he will not even assist in raising. He can't fix the floor, he can do nothing. And there are so many courses over here in Europe that these men can take. If they don't have document, most of them will complain that they don't have document. If they have document, they are all over the street drinking and fooling themselves up and down. Instead of looking for something, doing something that will actually benefit the family. being an example of for their children. I've seen most other groups of community or men, they paint, they clean. When it comes to summer like this, they buy a paint, they paint the house, they make the house okay, they throw away things that are not needed in the house, they make the house comfortable, they spend money in the family. They are not doing anything. Women are really hardworking than most men. That's true. They do everything to make sure the home is ready for the children to live in. But you see, most of our men, they don't participate in when it comes to the home. It's like they are disconnected from the home. They are just there for a woman to cook. They are there to make sure they are shouting on all these women. They want to be bows. They want to order these women around. That is the reason why most of them think that they are needed at home. Most of them think that they are needed at home just to 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 fuck and have babies. The rest is the woman's responsibility. And I don't and most of the women are co-signing this behavior. The moment you don't want to co-sign this behavior, you become the feminist, you become whatever, they begin to call you names. So let's listen more to this video.
If you tell am say dis children room or dis our room don dirty, make we still paint am, e go tell you say e no be painter. um if
Okay, even to paint the room, he is not a painter. Most of them will prefer for their wife to bring money and pay somebody to paint the house. Most of them will want to see that white man painting the house as if the man is going to put his head down to do it, than them to, okay, let me try to do the painting. Okay, let's buy some paper on the floor to cover around the floor, all these tapes and all these things. I used to do all these things in my shop then. So let's try our best and do it. Maybe next summer we'll do it better. They won't even want to do anything. They will just push the responsibility to the women. What affects most of us in Europe is being selfish and following the European lifestyle and culture. You say we are selfish and following the European lifestyle and culture. What comparison are we going to compare the African lifestyle with the European lifestyle? And the African culture that many of us normally carry around, what benefit has it brought to us? Please put it on the comment section, the benefit of African culture or way of life. Because if we have a good and benefiting culture that is good, we could have been living better. We won't even come to this Europe that we see our brothers um 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 dying in the sea every day, getting lost in the desert every day. I think if we have a good culture and a very accommodative culture, we won't be here. We will never make this place our home. Many of our children don't even know how to speak our language. Many of them cannot even communicate in our own dialects. If we talk about culture, we talk about tradition very fast. And I think many of us are living in delusion. We don't want to live in reality. We talk about things that are not even in place. For me, cook, work, go to the university, clean the room, and lots more. I'm single, but I believe in sharing and caring. Okay, if you are single and you are doing all this stuff, why do you think that when you get married, you don't have to contribute? You have to leave everything for your wife to do it. Many men, the many women, the moment they see your husband helping you, they begin to call the man a woman rapper. I've seen my girlfriend that the husband loves to take the children in the pram, to take the children around. I see some of my other friends will be gossiping like, oh, I saw the man, oh, that woman have charmed the man. I even remember myself, I just had my baby and I was just really dressed up. I used to dress up very short clothes. I used to dress up very beautiful then. So because where I was living before it's hot, so I used to dress very beautiful, and I saw a lady was like telling me like, why is your husband pushing the baby carol? Why can't you push the baby carol? And your husband is pushing the baby carol and you are walking behind him. I was like, seriously? But I'm not the person that is sitting inside there. This man is pushing his own child. So you see, most of these women are another problem because they raise these men in a very dysfunctional and in a very toxic way. That is why you see there is problem everywhere. When they get married, they don't want to, they have been disconnected from the other um, 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 energy, which is the feminine energy and the children. Most of them, African men, they don't even care about their children. For them to care about their children, they will be getting a second wife. The life and direct, they look for a second wife and start having another bunch of children that they will not care about. Is that the tradition you want to tell me? You said tradition. Where is the tradition? And where did the tradition and culture, and what is the benefit of this tradition and cultures? What benefits? The Europeans, we're talking about their tradition and their lifestyle. What tradition and lifestyle that they have that is toxic, that is not benefiting them. Most of their tradition and lifestyle is being backed up by a law. The traditional lifestyle that a man have to take care of the children, financially in every aspect is being bound by the law. So what are we talking about? When I went to the court to sign for my friend that got married, they were telling them in the court that the man and the woman have the same obligation under the law of marriage to care, to cook, to clean, to do everything in the house. This was something that was being said in the court. But you see, most people find it difficult for your husband to help you. Your mother-in-law might come and beat you up that you have charmed their children, their son. I just come as I come see my son was carrying the child. For what? The mother, you might have problem with the mother. The senior sister, you might have problem with them. If he comes and meet your husband cooking 2 times, 2 times he met your husband cooking, you are in problem. Maybe you want to leave that marriage. So these people are problem in on their own. The women in our community have been shown something that is called suffering, poverty, and they are used to it now. They believe that they don't need help. They believe that they don't deserve to be helped, to be loved, to be cared for. They believe that they don't deserve to have a soft life. They believe that everything have to be difficult for them. But they don't know that at the end of the day, they are teaching the next generation, their children, a very toxic pattern that is going to be problematic to the girls. He said, I will not leave everything to the woman. This life is caring, supporting, and lovely. But it could have been nice if the men are supporting. Imagine something we break in the house, the man would pretend like he doesn't care. I remember when I was living where I was living before when I was married, you will see the water will break down and the water will like we in the bedroom we be floating and wasting, and you see the light bill will come like about 100 and something euros. The light bill, the water might rush for 3 months, and you see the man will sit like nothing happened. After all, he's not paying the bills. He doesn't care. He won't bring a solution, nothing. He will just look at the other side of the way. But I've seen my most of my white friends, Latino friends, they know how to do all this water, all these things. How do they learn it? Most of them go to technical schools to learn all these things. Most of them even they drink like the African men, some of them, but they are very, very responsible when it comes to this manitas and the work. They know how to do all these things. Many of them take course for professional painting, for a lot of stuff that most of our men don't want to do anything here. They want to sit down and complain. He said that true, both have the obligation and responsibility to share in a relationship. But when most of our women have already made their back a steel back to take care of all responsibility, they don't. Some of them don't even want a man to do anything for them. I watched a video the other day where a lady was saying that the husband will go to work and come back, and the woman will be expecting the man to play with the children or have something to do with the children. I was like, it's enough for the man to provide than the woman will be asking for more to take care of the children. But when we talk about house chores, is a very, very big responsibility. We're not talking about only cleaning, cooking. You educate the children, you take them out every day, you do a lot of stuff. Okay, my volume is very low. Let me see. I don't know why. I don't just know why. Let me check. So there is a lot of responsibility when it comes to women, and the men need to support. They don't need to disconnect themselves like, I'm not part of this. So this woman, this woman should go and look for how she will take off her children. This is why there is so many single mothers today, and we are everywhere blaming the women. The women want to be single. Which person want to be single when the other person doesn't want to take any responsibility? They don't want to do anything. It's all you for everything. It's better you become single, then you can figure out your life instead of you are with a man and you are single. Most of our women are married. Let me check my phone.
You are with a man and you are single.
Most of our women, are married, but they are single. Married, but single. it it might sound somehow, but that is what it is, because the other partner is not into the relationship. Most of them are spending their time drinking, gambling, just going after other women and all. Okay, it's true, it's slow. I don't know why. I don't know why it's slow. Okay, let's manage it like that. Most of them spend their time drinking and doing whatever they like. They don't do nothing. They don't help their partner. They don't want to help nobody. They just want to be in a relationship like difficult, because that was what they were taught, that a woman have to be a strong woman. Her life have to be very difficult. If not, they will not love you. That is why you see many African men say that if you have never suffered with them, they won't marry you. They might create a suffer for you on your head. So things like that, okay? Let us continue with this video. That is what it is. It is a very, very difficult life over here, and many people are not actually seeing how difficult these things are. They think it is something that is normal, that a woman have to suffer very much, have a hard life.
Fuel for house. Some Europe husband, they know they want repair the thing. Repair am, okay, fine. Maybe they don't know how to repair am, but they no go still make move. Make dem call who dey repair the thing. They go leave am for there until the thing go rust.
Disconnection.
If you call them, make dem come do am, dem go tell you say, just for example, then if you tell dem say shower spoil, shower no dey flush well, dem go tell you say dem no be plumber. If you tell dem say glove no dey work again, e don off, e go tell you say e no be electrician. If you tell am say dis children room or dis our room don dirty, make we still paint am, e go tell you say e no be paint. You say where you say dem dey press, I no understand. Na laziness plug, na here you go press, na here you go press. Tomorrow if you sef, if you teach am today say if you don put cloth for inside the washing machine, na here you go plug, na here you go press, na here you go press. Tomorrow if you wan still put cloth again, you go come still call you, go come still ask you say where you say dem dey press. I no understand. Na laziness or dem no just sabi anything.
So exactly what she just said, that most of them, they can't even operate a washing machine. When you put some clothes in your washing machine, they will have to ask you repeatedly, what do they need to press and all this stuff. Like I saw it so many times. You will see, you want to put on the TV, your husband will ask, come and put on the TV. Me, I'm a I'm a woman. They don't even know their role. Like nowadays, the thing really baffle me. You understand? Before, when I was growing up, you would see men helping you. You would see men doing some stuff for you. But you see them nowadays, they don't. Many of them don't even have strength. I remember the other day I was over packing in my store. And we have to lift something up. Could you believe the guy couldn't even lift his own part? I was like laughing. I lifted my own part. It was like, ah, you lift this thing? I said yes. It was like shock. I was like, what's going on here? Many of them can't even program the TV. A woman have to do everything. They have switched the role, like it's a role reversal now, that they have to take your role. Many of them are sitting in their feminine energy, like let me paint my finger and just flaunt it. That is, the men need to step up and raise their boys. This generation that this woman is talking about now, these are the generation of the men that we women, most of our women raised. They have absorbed so many energy of the woman. They're so weak, they don't want to do anything, they don't want to contribute in their life, they are so demotivated, they don't want to do anything. They want a woman to do everything, provide the food, do everything for you, and you see them complaining about single mother, feminist. Do feminists stop the white man not to do things for the white woman? Do the feminists stop the white man not to create a train track for their women? Do the feminists stop the white man not to put food on the table? Because a woman have a feminist idea or whatever, did they stop the white man from doing anything? No, they never stop them from doing anything. They always provide, they always do everything. But you see our men, they sit down, they want to fuck up your life. They Many of them are unproductive. The only place they are productive to these women is when they're having sex. Finish. Sex and babies. And most of the babies, they don't raise them. They don't want to even raise their children. They don't want to even be there for their children. So I think she really brought a something that I've been thinking about, because most of the things I want to talk about, they will say, "Hey, because she's single," but right now, most of the time, I don't want to give it down about what anybody think, because most things I'm going to say and things that she said, most women can relate to it only if they want to remain ignorant. If any man can do these simple things, it's better you leave that man, because he's just using the woman for bed only, nothing else. Okay, you say the women should leave the man. You see, when you see all these things all over social media, they lie, they lie, they lie, they lie, because many of them were raised to be liars. Many of them were raised to lie, because when most of them, their mom were raising them, because of the masculine energy was nowhere to be found. Their mother will shout on them, their mother will slap them, their mother will beat them. Most of the time they are forced to lie. They have to lie about things. Even even African mother, when you say the truth, many of them want to beat you because you say the truth. They want to beat you. So most of them know how to lie and be deceptive to women in many things. So when you leave them, you become a single mother. She's a single mother because the government give them money. Before the government gave the women money, what were you providing? What were you bringing to the table? You can be a handyman in the house. You can help the children. You can do nothing. I've seen most of the parents just to teach their children the assignment, just to teach their children assignment. You will see the conk and the slap that will be entering the children's head. Who does that? Who beat up their children in that manner? Which man that is really cherish and love their children would be like conking their children? I would not. I better would be single than have a man that will be knocking my kids like they are criminals. They can't do nothing. I'm saying it. I've held most Nigerian men to help me in my business. They fucked up everything. They fucked up everything. I need to replace a glass now of a crystal glass €410 I went to price it the other day. I need to fix the glass now because I asked them to help me to do something and they broke the glass. They don't have patience to do any good. They don't. They can't fix nothing. They instead of if I have called maybe all these Cameroon guys, most of the time I used to call them. You see them do things for me peacefully, nothing broke. They fix those things good. The other day I asked them to help me to do something. The guy was like destroying the fridge in my own eye. Like he saw those that thing broken down. It was like pushing it. The thing was like cracking, breaking. I said, "Why are you breaking this thing? Even I bought this thing with money. Even want to sell this thing, and this thing is broken. It will look somehow. Don't break it. You forcing this thing and you breaking it." And he said, "It doesn't matter. It's the bonnet." I said, "No, don't break the bonnet. Just they don't have that zeal to do things in a proper way." That is why when we talk about our country today, and this thing affect a lot of things, the politics, marriage, relationship with the children, the family structure is broken. Jobs, they can't keep a job. They can't practically do anything that is okay. Everything have to be done in the other way. At times I used to say this, I used to have conversation with my friends, say, whenever I call all these other guys to do help me do packing or whatever, you see they prepare, they arrange everything, they put everything in order, they call a Nigerian man to come and do it. Everything they like everything is crazy. Like what's going on? And they talk about tradition, they talk about the giant of Africa. Where is the giantness? When you can't even feel something like it's a joke. Let's listen.
Because I can remember the time when me dey Africa where they grow the corn. If anything spoil for my papa house, now my father dey do am by himself. In fact, my papa go still put, he go put salt, he go put maggi join am. He go use him own wisdom take do the thing. He go get as the thing go spoil reach before my papa go call who dey do am come from outside. Even go reach my papa car, my papa go fit open bonnet dey repair wetin dey for inside engine. And he no learn that engineer. He no learn am.
She no lie. She no lie. There is a lot of things I myself as a woman can do without a man because of when I was single or when I was married. I was like married and single. I have to do everything on my own. I have to learn a lot of things on my own. So I learned all these things and I normally do it. I don't have to pay for a lot of things because I learned it. I was okay. I'm calling this person since, and this person is said 1 hour, and I'm not seeing this person almost 2 hours now. So I want to try. I learned how to drill the wall, how to do a lot of things because of the loneliness over in Europe. You have to do everything for yourself. So it's something. It's like it's it's not like okay, most of the men all the days that were doing too much. No, most of them were still users. Most of them use all these women to clear their farm, to do a lot of things. To do a lot of things. We know a place in Delta State where men will just sat down, the women will go to farm and go and farm and bring everything. The men are drinking at home and all those stuff. So we need to try to change our mindset to when you are in a relationship or in a marriage, think about that this person can be your own daughter, this person can be your own auntie. Make life easy if you truly want to be married to this person. Don't come around, drop kids, drop responsibility, and you sit down and see the person suffering. I believe that is another way of torturing the women because when we talk about most of our men, most of them don't actually love women. They want to see you suffer. They want to see you go through difficult time like their mama went through. So listen, Nigerian men are something else. They just like partying and drinking. The distraction is actually too much. The drinking, you see, when I remember when I went to Nigeria, I was like telling my sister, I said, look at where they went and hang publicity of drink up, 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 up. But these people can't use that energy to put something better. Everywhere is drinking, drinking, but they don't know that these things bring health issues. This thing bring distraction. They 247, everybody's drinking. Is drink. They're accessible to drink everywhere. They think that that is how it function in Europe. It's freedom. Freedom is good, and freedom is destructive to society. A freedom that is not controlled is a problem. They think, oh, in Europe you can do whatever you like. No, you can't do whatever you like over here. You can't even shout. For you to buy a drink, you have to be 18. And before most of the bar, there is time for drinking, there is time for breakfast. Everything is organized. When you go to Scandinavia, there is time that you the drink, you can buy a drink from the supermarket, from the stores. Things are regulated because they know they don't want to leave that drinking culture. But our places, drinking is pleasant. The more drinks you buy, they call you big boy. Ah, he's a big boy, can buy a lot of drinks. And these things cause distraction. You see many of them, they drink, they gamble, they do every stuff they like, and they think they will function in a family. It's difficult for you to function as a family when you have patterns. Most of their father were technically like this. They don't do anything. That is why you see the African woman image is worn out. Many of these women are worn out. Even in this Europe, you don't see that beauty. You see the Arab women, nails well put together, clothes, everything clean. Look at the African women. That is to tell you the support that the men bring to the table. That is zero. They don't bring the support of money that will make the women life more easier because they've already brainwashed the women that they have to marry them for love. When the love have to make you miserable, no, you've married for torture. This is no more love.
But this our new generation husband, especially this our Euro husband. My people, I bet more than for this matter. Why it be like that? Now laziness, I be now stinginess. I be they not want just do. I be they not want just play. Or they not get the idea. I don't understand. I bet now two questions I ask. Make I dey see una comment for the comment section. Thank you, my beautiful people. Please share this video and follow this page if you have not. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So, so you hear what she said that if it's laziness, selfishness, we can. Many of them don't want to contribute. They don't love their children. Most African men, because they don't love themselves, they don't love their children. They don't love the fruits that come out. They don't see their replica. They don't love their replica. Many of them. When you see over here in Europe, you see many women are like they are bleaching their children. And you see the men will just keep mute. Even most of their father are bleaching, the children are bleaching, all of them. I look at them like these people have a lot of self-hate. They don't want to, the man don't want to see himself in these children. Because if you truly love your children, you will really be involved in their life. When you see most of the time that time to pick children from the school, then you will notice the absentee part of the family structure. You see, most of the men are practically not there. And I'm going to tell you 100% that many of them are not working. They don't just want to go. Many of them have the habit, they don't want to even allow people to see them with their children or their wife. They don't want people to see them. Most of them will doubt if they have a wife. You will be doubting. You will have to doubt like this man have a wife. You will see them, most of them you will might even ask them, yeah, your wife. Some of them will deny their wife in your face. Like you will say, like, Kilonde, yeah, I know your wife. That is, imagine somebody that is like that. It's a very difficult thing. They will say these women are single mothers. Most of the men in Europe, they think they are too much. They think that women need to do more to have them. But you see, most of them that are over here, I don't want to say something, but many of them that are over here, they brand the women like they're prostitutes, they're this, they're that. But none of you are bankers, none of you are doctors, none of you are actually intellectual or doing something that was really, really impacting your community, and you decide to come to Europe or something. None of you came here to study. Many of you are criminals, cultists, the community rejects that decide to go to the desert and come to this place, and you brand the women as prostitute, but you don't have any problem sleeping with them, you don't have any problem having children with them. So don't practically want to do anything. Many of them are angry birds. They are very angry with themselves. They are very angry with their parents. They are very angry with life. They are angry with the positions that they have. That we, the women, are not the one that kept you in that positions. If you're angry, you are ashamed of your position, you need to ask the government where you come from, because they are supposed to put you on track. They are supposed to promote you as a man globally. You have to ask your own father, where was he when other group of men were teaching men manhood, how to be a man? No, your father left you for your mom to do everything. Now you want to sit down in a woman's house and make her life difficult and doing nothing to help. We say we are in Russia, most of the Nigerian and Cameroon drink too much. And when I call them for a simple job, they just say it's hard. And next minute, they will turn up and ask me to borrow them. So you still go through all this stuff. They are like that. Okay, this is coming from a man. He said, I called, okay, they turn up and ask me to borrow them money and just to go and drink. I don't give them even a single ruble. Nothing is free and cheap in life. So I always tell them to go and work. This is what is actually causing most of the breakup, and many women maybe choose to become single in this Europe or in Nigeria. And you see, many of them are not actually productive, they're not doing anything, they're not helping, they are just another burden to the women, and the women choose to like put them out and begin to live their life. You see them crying all over social media, the women are single mothers, this is that. I will start doing videos here and be asking questions so that we'll be talking, and I want them to tell me how many of them were put in the streets by all these women. Most of them don't even know how much they pay for the house. Most of them don't know how their children eat. They will just sit down in the house as a decoration and doing nothing. Some of them, their children will be asking them, Daddy, are you not going to work? So if those children have to grow up with a man that never go to work, that never does anything, they break, he will sit down. The next thing, it might be in the gambling house or it might be in the drinking parlor. How are the children going to be handled? How? How are they going to be handled? That okay, something happened now. Let me go and do this. Let me go and do that. Or the water break. Let me go and look for where to off it. These are things that men should know how to protect. That is, they don't understand all these things. That is why they will easily sit in your house and you will have your kitchen leaking water bills. You will have everything going bad in the house and they will never do anything. They will call another man with bonla like them to come and repair it, and you will pay for it. They don't want to contribute when it comes to the family. I don't see them with passion taking care of their children. going to school happily to pick their children. Even if many of them does it, they are very angry, they are very annoyed with the children, like this pikin, buy your pikin forever. Like many of them are just like that. I'm highlighting this thing so that they should change. If you don't, if you know you cannot contribute in a family, don't have one. Don't have one. Try to use protection whenever you want to analyze any woman. Try to use protection. It's better for you and for the woman. You don't have to be angry 24 hours of the day because you lost your money in the gambling, because you went to drink. You don't have to be annoyed with any woman. Then you don't have children. And women, you need to recognize this type of men. That when you are dating them, you complain things about it in the house, when maybe many of them normally want to sleep over, because before those their marriage and all, many of them have already scored 3 goal 4 goal. They want children for free, without no ring, without nothing, no commitment. Most of them, you have to ask them, what type of skills do they have? Me, I love men that can repair cars. I like men that can do a lot of handy. And be that I have that mentality, I normally attract men like that. Then my when my boyfriend the other day, when my car spoiled, he has to like put the car all over, everything down, and put a new engine, like put the car in order. I didn't spend a penny to repair that car. I didn't spend a penny. But I remember when the car spoiled, I have to take the car to the mechanic and spend at least about 100 and something euros. But with my friend, he asked, okay, leave the car. Let me use Ora and pick to come and pick the car. And they fixed the car completely, everything new aging, everything fixed. So you see the passion and the money you save for those type of things. Many women and too, they want to date a man that their hands are clean like this, men that don't want to do anything, men that don't love to dirty their hands. These guys are rub cream and all. Why actually are they rubbing all these bleaching creams? Because they don't want to do anything. They want to look like you as a woman. They don't want to do anything. I don't want to contribute. And you as a woman, you need to recognize this type of men, never to date them. Ask them what they can do. Okay? What they can do for you. Just tell them that something spoiled in the house. I need to paint something. Try to see their skills. Okay? It is not all about the bed, and having babies. A man have to be productive. If you have a man and you have to lift all everything, you don't have any man in the house. You still living single. And many of you should allow this men to help you too, because I know many of you, you don't allow men to help you to lift anything. It's all about you. You have to know your role when it comes to a relationship and what a man needs to be doing for you. So that is what it is. And most of the reason too why most of these men don't want to contribute, they don't want to do anything, it's because of the desperation that many of our women show to these men. They make them understand that maybe without them they can't live. They're so special. They're so important, and they know bringing they are bringing nothing to the table. Many of them, they have nothing that they're actually contributing to this life, to the life of these women, apart from analyzation and babies. So that is what it is. That is what I see in this video, and that I just need to put down here. So I love all of you all. It's the Real Edo Girl on YouTube, and on this my Facebook presenter, we know the presentable, and on my page, single mother, single father in Europe. I love all of you all. Bye bye, everyone.